So the other thing that I would love to chat about here is what we are calling locked admin questions. So this one solves a problem that gets worse the bigger that you get as an organization or the more collaborative that you are as an organization, which we obviously love to see. But it does reveal another problem in the product that we have hopefully started to patch up here. So you can picture something like a large program. You have a team that's app building. They're centrally responsible for the app, the core app, and the data architecture. And then you have a few other folks, maybe dozens of folks, maybe a couple different teams who need to adapt it for their local contexts, or they want to collaboratively work with you on the actual app itself. And so you face a pretty hard choice at this moment. You could either lock everything down and you become the bottleneck for everything. So every small change needs to go through you. Or you could open it up and just cross your fingers and hope that nobody touches anything that's super important that the data architecture really relies on, and you just hope that nothing breaks. We don't like that you only had those two options. So now we give you a third option, which is called locked admin questions. So now you can choose to lock specific parts of the app as uneditable to certain people who don't have that permission. And maybe those are the most important pieces. Those are the pieces that are most important for your data architecture. Then everything else remains editable to people who have the edit application permission but don't have the locked admin permission. So you grant freedom where it's safe, and then guardrails where it really counts. So I'm going to hand it right back over to Rishabh, who's going to show you how this works in product and where you can find it.
Perfect. Thanks, Sky. Just sharing my screen again. All right, perfect. So let's collapse this. On the form builder UI again, you'll notice that we have this additional section here called lock. And this is really where all of that magic happens. You can select from your list of questions which ones you'd like locked. But before we actually get into that, I want to quickly jump over to the permissions because, as Kai mentioned, this would be dependent on what kind of permissions your user has. And if you go into the roles and permissions section in the users tab in CommCare, you can actually define exactly who should be having this particular privilege. So you will see here under the application section, there's an option for allowing locking and unlocking questions within forms. Once you've selected it and you can create your own profiles, you can kind of decide exactly what permissions your user needs to have, and then assign users those different permissions, those different roles. And that is what is going to make this work. So as a user that has the ability to lock questions, let's take a look at what this can do. So I'm going to randomly pick up a couple of questions. Let's say this one, and maybe even this one. You'll notice that if it's not just doing this for individual sort of standalone questions, but it also allows you to lock groups. So the family member details group, I can go in and say I want to lock this so that any other app builder in my team is not able to then go in and make changes to it. So all I'm doing is saving it. Now, in the real world, someone else is going to log in. Let's see if I can log in as another user. Just going to do that and reload this. Go back to that same form. And there you go. Now I'm logged in as a user who does not have that permission. I can go in and see the exact same form, but you'll notice now that the questions that were locked, I can't edit. And it's not just the labels, but it's linked up to the entire sort of attributes of that particular question within the form. So I can go in and check all of these. They're all grayed out. And I can actually go in and see the ones that I didn't lock, which I can still edit. So this is an incredibly powerful feature, especially when you're working with a team where different people might have different permissions. Somebody might want to have admin access or the ability to actually lock out questions, and a different set of people might want to work on, say, different sections of a particular application. This particular feature makes it incredibly easy to do that.